Carrie Meet, and welcome to Pagan Information Network.
News and notes of interest to pagans from around the world.
Let's see who came in off the broom.
Science Times reports that a group of German scientists have restored in mice who had been fully paralyzed due to a spinal injury the ability to walk. The medical miracle was realized by injecting into the mice's brain what is called a designer that signals proteins to trigger the cells in the nerve fibers called axons to regenerate. Other studies have worked to bypass the damaged axons or even transplanting regenerative cells into the damaged area. This study, however, used a synthetic protein labeled hyperinterleukin 6. The protein is synthesized from a naturally occurring protein but needs to be produced through genetic engineering. The genetic instructions for the production of the protein were encoded onto what is called a viral vehicle and was injected into the mice's sensory motor cortex. Within 3 weeks, the mice had regained their ability to walk. The scientists say the next test is to see how well it sustains in weeks to come.
The Wild Hunt reports on the 17th Annual Conference of Current Pagan Studies. Due to pandemic restrictions, the conference was conducted solely online via Zoom with no in-person component. The conference focused on how the year's changes affected pagan communities. COVID-19 had the greatest impact. Melissa Harrington felt that online rituals could provide a way to examine ritual dynamics. The experience of ritual in cyberspace could change a pagan understanding of sacred space and trance work, not occur in the physical plane. According to Harrington, healing rituals showed that energy could travel. Angela Puka reported on the TikTok witches. TikTok, a relatively new social media platform, features 1-minute videos a community of witches has developed on TikTok. They produce 1-minute videos that explain a single aspect of witchcraft. Their videos have focused on making a potion or casting a spell.
The world's oldest known representational artwork has been discovered in Sulawesi, Indonesia. 3 images of wild pigs were painted over 45,500 years ago in Liang Tendonginge Cave in red ochre pigment. 2 of the images appear to be fighting and are badly damaged, but the third appears to be watching the fray and is in near pristine condition. Using uranium series for dating, this find showcases how important the Sulawesi warty pig was to ancient cultures. Other images have been found in caves close to this one, but these drawings differ from the hand stencils and the Neanderthal cave paintings in their clarity and preservation. Further study will provide more information on the history of the ancient art piece.
TheScientist.com sits down with entomologist David Wagner to talk about our declining global insect population. In the interview, Wagner points out that the decline cannot be pinned on a single factor, but on what he calls death by 1,000 cuts, with each region of the planet contributing their own list of factors that are detrimental to the world's insects. Factors he cites range from the normalizing of pesticide use, industrialization and urban expansion, climate crisis, and exotic species being introduced to new areas. But Wagner also had room for some excitement. The Costa Rican government in particular has discussed barcoding, that's the process of getting DNA from an organism, the entirety of the nation's biome. And the community is growing at a rapid rate. With more eyes on the insect world, the development of online social communities, Wagner thinks with enough participation, we can make a difference in the decline.
Ubanet reports on Biden revoking the Keystone Pipeline. Yesterday, President Biden officially revoked the presidential permit for the Keystone Pipeline. While this is a substantial victory for the indigenous people who have been in this fight for over a decade, we must not forget about our relatives fighting Line 3, the Dakota Access Pipeline, and other fossil fuel projects poisoning our communities and fueling the climate emergency. This is a victory, and hopefully this is the end of it. We have been fighting KXL ever since we heard about it. It was not only about treaty rights violations, it was also about dirty oil. It was about being in solidarity with the D and Cree people in Canada. The State Department did not consult with us. They never paid attention to us. Maybe, now they will. Indigenous people have always stood up for Mother Earth, and we will never give up that fight, said Rodney Bordeaux, president of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe.
Nestled in northwestern Saudi Arabia sits a city lost to history, only rock and memories that lie carved into its face. For 2,000 years, Hegra has been closed to the public while archaeologists study its mysteries. Now, according to a MyModernMet.com article, the city is being opened to the public as part of the Saudi Vision 2030 program. The original inhabitants of Hegra, also known as Madain Salih, were the Nabateans. They were also the people responsible for the architecture of Petra, another stone city. The information we have is gleaned from accounts by Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians, who were trade partners with the Nabateans, and whose art can be seen throughout the 111 intricate tombs throughout Hegra. Tour guides will be trained to ensure visitors truly experience the history and majesty of this ancient city. Stay tuned for more.